Steam has over 70,000 games, and new ones drop every single day. Now, is this a problem? Not normally, but most of the games are unfinished cash grabs. Yes, I'm talking about Nintendo. But there's one thing better than spending bread. Now, you know it, I know it. Getting that shit for free. I'm talking about demos, gang. Now, here's the thing. One of the hardest parts of making a game is getting the visibility. Now, nobody knows these demos are dropping from what I'm aware of. They have no reviews on their page or nothing. So I'm here diving into the newest ones I'm talking about released this week and giving each of these 30 minutes of time and then giving it a solid review. Now, it's up to you to decide, from my experience, if this shit is worth it or not to wishlist. Hopefully it is, but if it's not, you'll just see me suffer a bit. Welcome to Demo Roulette. Fatal Claw is the first game in this series, and being upfront with you guys, coming off of the release of Silk Song and Hollow Knight being such a big impact for all Metroidvanias and being a life-changing event. Not game-changing, life-changing. This game has a lot to live up to. Now, from my 30 minutes of playing, do I think that this holds up to Hollow Knight standard? No, I don't think it holds up to Hollow Knight standard whatsoever, but I do think that the game is unique in its own right. Now, we're looking at what makes this game strong. I think would be the creativity and weapon choices and movement abilities. Now, from what my understanding is, there's two bosses that I fought in the demo for the first 30 minutes. Now, it's nothing big. Seeing the trailer, there's a lot more movement options, a lot more damage options, so many more options in general. Now, we see a glimpse of it when we look at the map in our inventory. But the thing that I find unique, which I think a lot of games implement when we're talking about Mega Man, I think would be the most prominent in this field, would be taking a boss's identity and giving it as a unique upgrade for yourself. The first upgrade that we get would be a Thorn Storm. It kind of lashes thorns outside of your body and attacks them 360 around your character. I think that was unique. It does more damage than the average attack swipe, but it's not game changing, right? And then the next one we have is kind of a roll that you could do when crouching. Now, this opens up a lot of more options for movement, and it opens a lot more areas because some areas were blocked off where you need to do a crouch roll to get to the other side. Now, this is the classic Metroidvania trope, getting a new item, going back and backtracking all the way to some other place that was previously inaccessible, and then keep on going through until you beat the game eventually. Now, from what I told you, can you find anything that's sticking out to you? Now, you love the art style, maybe you like the design of the enemies, then this game might be perfect for you. But for me, it seems like the basic Metroidvania. It's not game-changing, it's not life-changing, it's not something I would go out of my way to buy. Now, if this was a $10 game on sale, then perfect, I would buy it. Maybe I would spend my time, spend a couple of hours, seeing how far I get, dabble into the story a bit, and then, call it a day. But there are some glaring issues that I feel would be, deterring me from buying the game. Now, I'm not sure if the Dark Souls trilogy just made me a masochist or some shit, but I really do like a hard boss fight. I really like enemy designs that, I feel challenged by just a normal enemy. It makes the world feel more alive, more difficult. Walking by someone and just attacking as they run at me and that's the only move that they have, especially in a 2D game where there's not any like X, Y, Z axis movement, they just run straight at me and I just attack and then they just die. Is that the best they could do? Probably not. Does it make the game feel a little more shallow than it probably could have been? In my mind, it does. Now, other than, the lack of difficulty in the game, it seems like a really simple game, a really solid game. I feel like anyone could give this a try if they're really into the Metroidvania field. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend this game to someone who's a hardcore gamer or someone who's even recently come off of a Hollow Knight or just a great game that they think in general. I feel like this would be a solid game. You could buy this on a discount. Say, I have a few hours to kill. I'm looking for something new. Let me give this a try. That's what I think this game is. That's where I think it's at. Do I think this game probably gets better in the late game? Probably. All Metroidvanias have a really slow start. So I'm being more harsh than I probably should be, because you need the items from a Metroidvania to have that really burst of movement, burst of damage, burst of diversity in the game. Even the enemy types, the bosses get harder as you go along. So I'm going to give my rating a little bit of a, ease up on it a bit. I feel like this game would be a 7 out of 10 at best. And if I were to give my opinion on it, I would not wishlist this game, but I do look forward to seeing content coming from this game. For the review, I'm going to leave that it's a really solid game. I'm really looking forward to see what is to come from the full game. If I get a sense that this game gets way better later on, which I do believe it will be, no matter what. I really have high hopes for this game and developers as a whole. I'm down to give it a look. Always down to understand games, especially fields that I don't like. Now, a little thing about me is I really don't like Metroidvanias. Hollow Knight is pretty much the only one I've ever played. So I have such a high standard. Again, I'm really putting this game through the ringer, but I really do genuinely recommend this game to someone if they love Metroidvanias. Me personally, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone I know because I don't know anyone who likes Metroidvanias, but solid game. And let's go on to the next game. The next game on the list is Cloudkeeper Shrine of Adale? DAL? Fuck, I don't even know, but this game, probably one of my favorites throughout all of the 4 that we're going to be playing today. The game's concept is simple. It's a really bullet hell survival type of game. Just focuses a lot on positioning. You have 7 different characters to choose from, a bunch of different modifiers to increase those characters' stats, whether it be attack speed, damage, health, whatever you want to increase. And then you have even more difficulty modifiers to, you know, kind of change up how you play the game and how difficult it is per se. I know earlier in the video I said I love difficult games, but this game is fucking hard. Now, I only have 30 minutes to play this game, but I can see myself playing this for hours, and I cannot beat the game no matter how hard I try. I mean, I tried my best. You know, I'm not a genius or anything. Like chill on me, gang. I'm not the best bullet hell player you've ever seen in your life. Like, calm down. Damn. But no, this game was actually really fun. The system of minions, I would say the clouds you have that are basically your pets that do damage, is really well done. They have a lot of different groupings, which the only comparison I can do is TFT, which each set bonus for increasing the amount of people or amount of typings you have of that group increases like some sort of variability. So one set bonus I use would be like the weather set bonus, would shoot lightning from the skies and hit enemies. Another set bonus I had would be like they would shoot a flag that would spawn around, and if you stay in that circle you do more damage. Like, it shows so much variety and you have so many different types of runs. It's just so well made. My best not to be biased, but with the game so simple and executed so well, there's not much to say in terms of what is great, because everything is really polished and up to standard, and there's nothing really bad to say, nothing glaring, at least in my opinion. Now the enemies obviously is hard, a lot of enemies, but I feel like movement, you know, skill building, it's only my first time playing. I can't really say difficulty is a challenge and a drawback to this game. Not to mention with the even more variety of getting gifts that you can do on random encounters that happen throughout the run. And if you get gifts, they give you a specific item for raising their friendship level, or you have random encounters where if you pick up pearls, then you can sell it or basically buy with those pearls a new item that's, you know, maybe a risk reward item or just a super increased item that may help or hurt your build. There are drawbacks to some items, to, you know, the cursed items. This game is just very well done, and if I were to give this a rating, because there's nothing really more to say about such a simple game, this is a 10 out of 10 game for me. Yes, it's 10 out of 10. I am willing to spend $5-10 on this game, and I can see myself playing this game for 20, 30, 40 hours, spending all my free time playing this game, just trying to beat the game. If I see more levels, more bosses, more variety, more characters than there are now, and I haven't even beaten the game, then I would love and absolutely adore playing this game. If you love bullet hell games, if you like games like Brotato, I recommend that you try this out. It's not a miss, trust me. I will be looking forward to release this game. What I have to say, this game, probably one of my favorite games in the past couple of weeks that I've played, and I'm down to see the release. I can't wait for this game to come out. Just to put context for the next game is a horror game, and I can't do horror games, so I apologize. There's gonna be no rating, but I did want to show the footage that I got. I thought it was a little funny, but here's me being a bitch, apparently. Fuck, I hate horror games so bad, bruh. 20 minutes of a horror game, though? Fuck, yo. Alright. Start the game. The lights are on.
Jeez.
Oh, you can start.
Oh, my head again. Where am I?
Back and move, though. Okay, time to
Racket.
yeah, we're tweaking right now, right? Bro, I'm out. I can't do this shit, bro. I can't do this shit. What's the noise? I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Yeah, so that might be the max, honestly. But on to the next game. No review for that game. But it was probably a good game, you know. If it got me that scared already, you know, give it its props. The last game we have is called Keep the Balance. Now look, this game is a lot special going on. It's very unique when it comes to the engine it's working on. And the only games I could compare it to would be like Jump King, Getting Over It, like the games that are really trying to rage induce you. Now, do I think this author had this shit in mind? Probably. He probably did. Like, honestly, this game is fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's just very physics based. You're on a unicycle going across these platforms. Like, who the fuck designed this shit for safety reasons? And when I say I died, I mean I died over and over and over again, bro. Like 150 times. Now, I played this game alone. You are probably supposed to play this game with friends. It's designed to play with friends. Up to 8 players. I think it's a really good selling point. Fucking around with friends, dying a million times over and over again, having a good laugh. Sounds great. Seems like a good time. I'm a little stingy, you feel me? My review is based on a solo experience of me just getting fucked for 20 minutes straight. But overall, there's not much to say about this game. So really, this is probably the most demo-like out of all the games that we've had. There's only a short section that we get to play, but I've seen the trailers, I've seen the movement of the game, I've seen the concept, I've seen how you're supposed to play with friends. This is a content machine. It's honestly made for people to create content with it. It seems like a great game, and I would give it an 8, maybe a 9 out of 10. There's nothing really I could improve on this game, honestly. You get to choose all the characters you want to play. You get to play as many times as you want to. I feel like sometimes the mechanics are janky, but that just increases the fun of the game and increases the rage baiting of the game, so I can't really fault it. So 9 out of 10, and this will be the last game of the 4 that we are rating for Steam demos. Leave a nice little review, say it was a great game, and I'm really excited to see how this game shapes out to be in the future. Now, that was the last of the 4, as we just stated. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of content, and just let me know. Like, this is a super different video. It's not a everyday video playing a game or a content guide for beginners as a beginner, but it's just one of the ideas that I had. I think I'm gonna make this a series, maybe a weekly series, because honestly, new games are getting released every day, and I had fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I appreciate you guys for watching. So like, comment, subscribe, or some of that shit, I guess, and peace out, y'all. Catch y'all again later.